Ever wonder what it's like to combine personal wellness, potent conversations, and professional growth all in one luxurious setting? That's exactly why I love running exclusive business masterminds at an award-winning luxury resort in Cancun. I'm so humbled and excited to have come back for year 2 for another unbelievable experience. And I'm leaving with so many incredible new insights, learnings, and opportunities ahead of me. And I'm so happy that I made that decision.
This program does such a wonderful job of teaching you the infrastructure, the back end, the business strategies that are going to help you elevate your business to the next level.
Trust me when I say you will not regret this. I am so thankful for this experience and being able to walk away with strategies I'm going to implement. You see, it's not just a retreat. It's a transformation accelerator designed to elevate your business and personal brand to heights you've only dreamed of. And you're ready to scale your business with a powerful community to reach your next level of impact, influence, and income. I invite you to join me for this immersive and magical transformative experience.
When Diana asked me to be in this mastermind, I said immediately, hell yes, because I have the ability to sit and hear and listen and learn from some of the most amazing coaches in the career coach industry. Not only have we had an incredible group of women come together that were handpicked by the one and only Diana, but the depth of conversation, exchange, and genuine community that is being built here is like nothing else I've experienced before.
I have to say, had she not assembled this group, it would not have been the same. And she was able to see the potential in all of us and knew that we would mesh so well together.
She made sure that everyone's taken care of. She implemented all those things that we all wanted it. And it came out as a customized mastermind sessions that everybody got everything out of it. If you're hoping to grow your business, but you feel lonely in the journey, you need to have a community. You need to have the right support in order to get there because it's going to make the journey so much easier.
Entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey, and this is where you can build that community that will help you on your journey and will help you to accelerate your success.
She truly believes in every single person she brings into this mastermind, and she will believe in you 100%. This is the space where you will learn all the tools and resources to develop your business and have the community of coaches who will support you throughout every step of the way. So if you're thinking about it, just do it. I'm a career strategy coach, and I've had the absolute pleasure of being a part of Diana's luxury retreat and business mastermind in Cancun. It has been uplifting, encouraging, motivating, from leveling up in my impact, influence, and income. That was the theme of the week, to be able to have this perfect balance of personal growth and professional expansion. And that's exactly what I got from being here. Not only have we had an incredible group of women come together that were handpicked by the one and only Diana, but the depth of conversation, exchange, and genuine community that is being built here is like nothing else I've experienced before. In terms of Diana, I don't know where to start because there's just too long of a list of the qualities that make her her. I really believe that she is my guardian angel within the career coaching space. She has an uncanny ability to see people's potential before they even see it in themselves. And for her ability to bring people together in this space where we can support, encourage, and uplift one another is absolutely magical. Her genuine desire to give back, her generosity, her kindness, and her desire to help female business owners be the best version that they can be is absolutely epic. I would highly recommend for anyone who is a business owner, coach, speaker who wants to step into that next best version of themselves to take full advantage of this incredible luxury retreat and business mastermind experience. You will not regret it. What you will cover in this short amount of time will absolutely skyrocket your goals, your success, and your income, and with an incredible community, all facilitated by the one and only Diana. Thank you so much, Diana. I will remember this experience for years to come, and I can't wait for more incredible people to experience the same thing.
I was inspired to join the retreat because I had been doing everything pretty much on my own in my business. And I was really excited to get together with a group of other people who were doing something similar to what I was. When I joined the Mastermind retreat, I had just finished my first 12 months in business. I was primarily doing one-on-one coaching, and my business had hit a little over 200K. Now my business has completely transformed. So I've moved much more to a group coaching model. We just hit the $1 million mark in terms of lifetime revenue. And I have a small team. So it looks very different today than it did when I joined the Mastermind. I mean, I loved that it was intimate. I loved that I really had an opportunity I got some one-on-one time with Diana, which was great. I had one-on-one time with, many of the other women, just grabbing lunch or side conversations. We woke up the second day at 5 a.m. and started talking about business. And I had never experienced that before. So Diana's amazing. Diana thinks of all of the details. I was so impressed at the way that the Mastermind was executed, all of the thoughtful little touches. I think that is something that makes Diana really special. Also, just the fact that she cares so much, right? So when you work with Diana, you know that she truly wants you to succeed in your business. Like, her heart is in it with you. And that's something that you don't find very often. I'm like getting a little emotional. Yeah, there's just something about the way she interacts with you that you feel really supported, and you feel that your success is her success. So that's a very unique thing. Biggest thing that I got from the Mastermind was that, the belief in myself that I could create larger, successful business. Before I came to the Mastermind, I didn't necessarily believe that I could create $1 million business until I started having those conversations, being in rooms with these women who were doing just that, right? And that really opened my mind to the fact that it was possible for me too. And so I definitely recommend Diana's services and programs to anyone out there that has a business. The cool thing about what Diana does is, depending on where you are in your business, you may be a fit for the Mastermind, or you may be a fit for her accelerator, right? If you're earlier on in your business and you're looking to create, more consistent income and a strong six-figure business, then the accelerator is perfect for you. If you already have a six-figure business and you want to really hit the gas and take it to that next level, then the Mastermind is perfect.
When I joined the Mastermind, I had just finished my first year, and I was very proud because I just crossed the 6 figures mark, but I worked so hard. It didn't feel like there was more for me to give. Now when I look at my business, and not only have we doubled our revenue, but I actually work less. I did more things better. It was actually a really interesting story. I have already had a full year in business, and at the end of it, I was feeling burnt out and alone. It was so hard to try and figure out everything on my own. And I just remember seeing Diana and Tiffany on LinkedIn talking about this Mastermind happening. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I can just be part of that type of group, I'm gonna learn so quickly. First and foremost, I really liked that it was small enough that you know everyone, but big enough that it feels like a community. I really liked how everyone in this community was already successful on their own terms, and they are all unbelievably amazing ladies that I can learn from. So I think all of these combined with just what Diana brings to the table, her energy, the ability to bring amazing people, I think that is what made this Mastermind so special. Diana is probably the kindest, most thoughtful person you will ever meet. She can read people, she knows how you feel, she is very intuitive. So if there's anything going on with you, trust me, Diana will know it. If I had to use just one word to describe this entire experience, it was incredibly humane. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Diana's programs. I know that she has 2 right now. So one of them is going to be if you're just getting started and you really want to build the infrastructure. She has so much experience, having been in this industry for more than a decade. So you can learn so much, not to mention, I know she brings a lot of experts. I was one of them. And if you're a little bit further away in your business and it's really about scale, I think that's the opportunity to join the mastermind, because you're going to be around people who are doing that and are growing, and you're going to learn best practices, but you're also going to gain a community that's going to help you further down the line. So being part of a community is a game changer. If I was starting over, I would probably join this type of community a lot earlier so that I have that type of support. And I think we often forget that it's okay to ask for help. It's actually what's going to get us there a lot faster. I mean, we're all coaches. This is literally what we're selling. We just need to practice what we preach.
I am a career and confidence coach for women of color, and I am here at Diana's very first business mastermind. And I am so thrilled to tell you why this mastermind is something you should be in ASAP. When Diana asked me to be in this mastermind, I said immediately, hell yes. Because as a solopreneur, I am alone. I am trying to figure out which strategies work. I'm trying to figure out which things work. And I'm getting bombarded with so much information. And here, with this community that Diana has built, I have the ability to sit and hear and listen and learn from some of the most amazing coaches in the career coach industry. And not only that, these are women who I have followed for so long, who I have listened to for so long and admired. And now I get to learn from them, but they have transformed into amazing lifelong friendships. And why Diana? I started following Diana from the very beginning when I wanted to become a career coach. I searched for the best women of color career coaches, and I found Diana. Her confidence, her authenticity, the way she presents herself was exactly what I wanted as a career coach. And her openness to share information, details about how she runs her business is something I've never experienced before. She truly believes in every single person she brings into this mastermind, and she will believe in you 100% and give you every single resource and tool you need to be the best version of you and build your business. And why should you join? Well, I've told you so many amazing things. You should also join because this is where you want to be to get the information you need, to really be able to understand your business, how it works, how you want to present yourself, how you want to brand yourself, how you want to show up, not just on a platform, but in the world. This is the space where you will learn all the tools and resources to develop your business, have the community of coaches who will support you throughout every step of the way. So if you're thinking about it, just do it.
For me, feeling like career coaching is a very different avenue and beast than someone who is a business coach and things like that. And I think the fact that Diana really caters her masterminds and many of her programs specifically to career coaches is incredibly unique. I, for one, had really never seen a program like that before. And I think it just like creates a completely different type of camaraderie. I think it creates a completely different type of experience. And the strategies and the techniques that you're learning are, again, like very much appropriate towards people who are career coaches. And again, from my experience, business coaches don't always get that. Like as career coaches, we're predominantly working with people who are investing in themselves for the first time, who have never done that before, right? And who are really like consumers, right? Versus I sometimes feel like when you're a business coach who works with other coaches, like it's more B2B and like we are truly B2C. And so being able to be in a program that really understands that and caters the strategies to that makes a really, really big difference. And that's why, like I've already told Diana, and so many of us have said like, oh, we're going to keep doing this because again, like there's not very many offerings on the market specifically like this. And I think it just makes it so special and unique and just felt so applicable to like what I do day in and day out. And so it just like, it was amazing. And obviously echoing all the things all the other women have said here, like everyone's very, very spot on.
There are so many things I could say about the mastermind itself, but when it comes to the investment for me, I had a very successful corporate career, like many of us did, that we're now translating into our businesses. And a lot of that includes strategy and thinking about the direction that we're going. And historically, I have not applied that skill set to my own business. Because as you guys know, when you are the CEO founder, you are getting pulled in a million different directions. There are clients who need your attention. You're trying to build processes, you're trying to build systems, you're trying to get a funnel, you're trying to get clients in, you're trying to do the social media content. And there are so many demands on your time. And I have, as Diana was saying, I competed for Mrs. Colorado. I have 2 young kids. I work a corporate job. I have my business. I don't know how to say no to extracurriculars that sound fun to me. And for me, the week was the best investment because it forced me to focus on the strategy and to take a step back. As somebody who does get pulled into the weeds of just executing, this time was really crucial for me for where I want to take my business, but also to translate that into what my goals were for my business, what I needed to do when I get back, what was that strategy moving forward, and how was that going to help me hockey stick my business? Because it is so easy to say, well, I don't have 5 days to go to Mexico, right? Like, let's all be honest here. It's easy to say, like, but what about my clients? What about my kids? What about all of these other demands we have on our time? And the best investment for me, aside from meeting Diana YK Chan and the group, was that for me, it gave me the space to be intentional rather than reactive. And so if any of you guys are in that stage of your business where you're like, I'm doing all the things, I'm churning, I'm working, and you're not seeing the results that you want, or you are seeing results, but they're slower than you want, or you are seeing results and they're exactly what you want, but it's taking too much of your time. For me, the mastermind was the step back that I needed to reassess what that was going to look like for long-term balance and stability for myself.
In all transparency, when Diana reached out to me to come to the mastermind, my biggest concern was like, am I even on the level of this? Like, is this even within my reach to like go to something like this? Am I really going to be able to get out what I need? And am I worthy? There was a lot of like that. Is my business there yet? Am I worthy of this? And what I have to say is that during the course of the mastermind, learning from everyone wasn't just about learning where their business is today. It was about learning how their business got there. So even though I wouldn't say that I'm at the level of Tiffany, she was so precise on how she got to where she went and what the behind the scenes of her business looked like starting out at the stage that I was at the mastermind versus where it is now. So for me, I think that if I had listened to myself and to my, am I worthy? Is my business there? Am I ready? I would have missed out on the opportunity to hear from people about how they got to where they are when they were in the situation that I was in their business. So it's really awesome because you're going to be surrounded by amazing women who you see every single day on platforms like LinkedIn. And I think that's like the cherry on top, but really the cake of the whole experience is you're going to hear the behind the scenes of how it actually works. And also the vulnerability around that, right? Because, these women we all talk about like what doesn't work, like when the launches go wrong and when sometimes you're crying your eyes out because you think you're, not ever going to find the magic pill to make this work, and how you also provide yourself that support, that loving support to get out of that space. So there's so much of a mixture of like strategy, support, mindset, love, compassion. It's just a brilliant thing to give to yourself to be able to understand that there are other coaches out there who go through the same thing you go through and how they go from where you might be today to where you see them to be right now. I need to create a business that I want to create for the life that I want to live. And one of the questions that Diana asked when she opened up the mastermind that I was too triggered at that point to really digest was, what kind of life do you actually want to live? And do you have the business that sustains that life and lifestyle? And at that time, because I was trying to figure out the magic pill, and I was trying to figure out like, okay, so whose business am I going to mimic to become a millionaire? Like, because I was searching for things outside of myself and not really thinking about what was going on within and what I really wanted for me, for Jasmine. I was trying to create businesses that other people created, and I never could figure out, like, well, how come it's not working in the same way that it's working for them? And through that mastermind and through months subsequent of really letting all of that information sit and resonate, reconnecting back with Diana and with the other women from the mastermind who are now lifelong friends of mine, and being so vulnerable with them and myself around where my business was, the challenges, the struggles, and also what kind of life I wanted to live, they helped me to really dig within so that now I don't ask other people, what kind of business do you have and how do I replicate that? I ask myself, what kind of business do I want for the life that I want to live today and tomorrow? And how do I create that? And I think that's a really transformative thing, especially for us as women, to be more in the energy of what Diana puts out there, which is heartfelt energy, and to really create the business that you want to create from your heart, not from what society or expectations or Instagram tells you, but what is it really that you want to do? And how can you find the market for that? Like, how can you market yourself in the way that you're attracting the people that are going to bring to you the business that you want?
I met Diana 6 months into this crazy journey that we're all on. And I was so in my head. Yes, I was eager and I was trying the things and I had been making investments on the side, but I wasn't elevating at the growth that I really truly wanted and what I saw in other people. And what attracted me the most to Diana, similar to what Jasmine had mentioned, I'm like, who is Diana and how is she connected to every single woman that I admire on this platform, aka LinkedIn? I'm like, I need to meet her and understand who she's all about. And it took one conversation to understand just how genuinely she does care. And for the next 6 months, we had to take it slow because I was so stuck in my head on whether or not I would be able to, quote unquote, add the value that I was struggling to see in myself and my business comparatively to some of these superstars that were at the mastermind. And it was her belief in me that she's like, girl, you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be extending you this offer if I didn't see anything in you, right? If I didn't see something so potent in you, you absolutely belong at this retreat. And that's what really got me over that hump of that doubt. And it's a struggle. This entrepreneurship, solopreneurship life is such a struggle to do it on your own. And we're all ambitious because we're doing it, but it's still such a lonely journey. And just having her just see my potential so early on in the process, even before I even signed on, it meant everything. And when I say that she held my hand and supported me for the 6 months leading up to it, no word of a lie. Like, she was right there in WhatsApp messages. She was supporting me in ways I didn't even think was possible. And she was so there. She was so present and she actually cared. It wasn't a checkbox item effort. It wasn't just let's make the sale and move on. She's so invested in you and your growth. And that to me was everything.
I would say the most profound experience was really identifying that I am someone that can play this game and I'm worthy enough to be here. And I think that, like, before I was questioning a lot of my worth and whether this industry was for me, whether I could survive, whether I could have a strong business, and even just things of where I didn't feel like I deserved like luxury things. Like, I literally Googled what luxury meant. Like, am I a luxury person? Can I show up in this space? Do I fit the mold? And I think, like, once I got back, like, my brain started to think about like all the possibilities. I stopped seeing myself as a single mom, that, was struggling and was trying to figure out and had a, not great background, coming up into the world. Like, I started to be like, I'm confident, I'm powerful. Like, I have a lot to offer this world. And it wasn't until like I sat with Diane and I had these conversations and the fact that she saw that there was something in there, that she saw that there was a lot of value that I hadn't really had put together. Like, like what was my unique value in this market. Like I couldn't figure all of that out. And so like just connecting with that has totally been the transformation. Like anyone could teach you funnels and strategies and I love that. I love that we can learn that. But even before you get there, you have to have that mindset. You have to be able to believe that you are capable and you are worthy and you're going to build a successful business. And it wasn't until I met Diana and it wasn't until I met these other ladies that I was like, you know what? If Natalie and Kendall, Eliana, Teresa, Tiffany, if they can do it, I can do this too. And I can sit at this table and I can show up. So I just want to say, I know a lot of these things, like when you sit through, you're just like, oh, you know, whatever. And I was that when I first talked to Diana. I was like, well, this sounds great for other people, but not for me. But I'm telling you, she really is like who she says she is. She truly cares about people, and it's phenomenal. And once you sit with the one-to-one is amazing. So yes, but thank you, Diana. I'm really great. I'm very grateful to be, you know, in this space with all of you amazing women. You've definitely inspired and motivated me to be better. So not only Diana, but everyone here. And hopefully I'll get to meet Jasmine one day. She's amazing. She's my new favorite on LinkedIn. So thank you.
First of all, let me share with you 3 reasons why I created this Wealthy Worthy Mastermind Retreat, which is formerly named as a Luxury Retreat and Business Mastermind. The first reason is really for the deep human connection. Running a solo business can sometimes feel isolating. And this is why I wanted to create a space where female coaches and entrepreneurs, where they can connect on a much deeper level. We all need a like-minded community where we feel deeply understood and supported. And that's what this mastermind really provides. I really got to this stage because I have now been in business for 13 years, where I felt like I have a really strong network. I have a lot of amazing friends. And over the last several years, I met some amazing coaches online. And I've been like really imagining, what if I can bring them all together in one place? So the second reason why I created this mastermind is really for this immersive and transformative experience. So over the years, I've invested in numerous courses, programs, coaches. While all these have contributed to my own growth, the in-person experiences have been unparalleled. Like they create a depth and transformation that digital programs simply just can't match. And in the past 2 years, I've invested in this mastermind retreat called Be Extraordinary Mastermind Retreat in France. And these experiences has really brought about some of my most significant personal and professional breakthroughs. So that's the power of this immersion that I bring into this 5-day experience together at a luxury resort in Cancun. My third reason of why I designed this was really doing purposeful work to leave my legacy. This mastermind is really more than a program. It's really a platform to do more meaningful work that resonates with your deepest desires and values. It's about designing your business that fits into your ideal lifestyle.
What I loved about this retreat was getting together with a community of like-minded women who were such powerhouses and was so inspiring to me. It truly helped me take my business to the next level, and I'm so excited about what I'm going to implement when I get home. Diana's amazing. She has an amazing ability to bring together the right people. I have to say, had she not assembled this group, it would not have been the same. And she was able to see the potential in all of us and knew that we would mesh so well together. I also love that she went above and beyond in every way with this retreat. The attention to detail, every single thing was just perfect. Why should you join? You should join if you're ready to take your business to the next level and if you're looking for a supportive community that's going to help you do that.
What I love about this experience and the luxury mastermind retreat, well, there are actually 3 things that I really like. The first one is accelerated learning. We were able to do in 5 days what would take most people probably 3 to 4 years. I have also really enjoyed learning from real people with real experiences. Those are the things that you can't Google. Those are the unknown unknowns that are actually going to accelerate your business. And lastly, the fact that I didn't have to do it alone. Having a community of incredible coaches, women, powerhouses that are here to support me and really help me and share from their knowledge. What do I love about Diana? She has the ability to really see you, actually see into your soul and know exactly what you need. And then everything that we needed for this mastermind happened. Everything was well organized, and we were able to just relax and enjoy the ride. And lastly, why should you join? If you're hoping to grow your business, but you feel lonely in the journey, if you made the first couple of steps, but it's really time for you to scale, you need to have a community. You need to have the right support in order to get there, because it's going to make the journey so much easier. So if this is you, if you're hoping to grow your business, you really need to take this opportunity to work with other people and build the business of your dreams. This has been an amazing experience in a luxury resort. All of us as a woman coming together in a career space and sharing the knowledge. Nowhere there's a distraction. It's amazing to be here. The mindsets are right here, and we can't wait to go back and execute it. The sense of belonging, it's amazing. Amazing selection done by Diana. The amazing feeling of being a VIP in 5 days, and you're not going to get anything like this elsewhere. She made sure that everyone's taken care of. She reached out for feedback. She implemented all those things that we all wanted it, and it came out as a customized mastermind sessions that everybody got everything out of it. And the planning was meticulous, from getting the detailed, updated communications and high level of services, just a sense of belonging, bringing it together and making sure that everyone is walking away with so many learning experience has been amazing. And I don't think it would have been done if someone else was doing this mastermind. And I'm amazed by the service and the planning that it's been done by Diana. It's beautiful. I got emotional talking about it, because if I had this so many years ago, probably I would have been rocking the role. I think every woman out there are saying the same thing. We need to do this for women out there. And there's nothing like this. And I'm so glad that I became one of the member in this team. And I am going to walk away with so many memories that's going to stay with me forever. I cannot say anything more than this, that people should come in and join this mastermind. If you're really thinking to learn, get away from where you are, lock yourself up in a luxury environment right here. The beauty of this, the smell of this, the bonding, and the sisterhood. It was all about collaborations, not the competition. And it's been amazing. If women can do this, all of us in the same industry, can you imagine? We're going to rock the world together. So be here, and you got to do this.
I am very grateful that I was part of Diana's first mastermind. There are 3 things that really stood out to me about this experience. First one being the community and the group of women that Diana brought together. From the very first second, felt like we're all like-minded. It's a group of ambitious women, all knowledgeable and successful in their own domain. And that made it such a special experience, because everyone had so much to bring to the conversation and to the table, and was really open to sharing what they know, what they're good at, and helping others learn that and get to the level where they're at. The second part of this experience that made it very special for me is it felt like a very immersive experience. We are at a luxury resort. We had an opportunity to mastermind and workshop while we're at the pool and at the spa. And this really made it special, because we were able to really deepen our connections and our relationships on a very personal level. And a lot of us here said, walking out of this, that we feel like we made lifelong friends. And I don't think this would have been possible if we stayed at a boardroom. So this was very important for me. And I also feel that Diana herself made this experience very, very different and very special for us. How she cares and how she really genuinely wants all of us to succeed. You can really feel it in how she plans it, how she brings us together, and really even the people that she invited to come together. With that, I hope that I get to come back to this experience, and I would definitely recommend for other coaches to join it, because entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey, and this is where you can build that community that will help you on your journey and will help you to accelerate your success. And you will also, I think, learn that you don't have to hustle to get to success. You can be successful and still enjoy your life. And I think this is a big part of this experience and what I think a lot of us took away from it. And that's where we now strive. So I hope you join it.
Wow, it's been such an amazing week hosting my first ever luxury wellness retreat and business mastermind in Cancun, Mexico, to help 7 incredible career coaches to help them reach their next level of influence, impact, and income. I am so inspired, energized, and I feel so grateful and honored that I had the opportunity to welcome them here to help them have that combination of professional growth, personal wellness, and powerful conversations. This was the first time with all the 7 career coaches to gather in real life in person. And it's so amazing to see how we've been really willing to foster these connections and relationships where we're now going to be lifelong friends, like soul sisters. I love that we're able to really have a combination of deep learning, a variety of topics, of supporting one another, openly sharing. Meanwhile, we're able to have downtime to relax and enjoy this gorgeous view by the pool. I spoiled them at the spa as well, and along with wine tasting, really taking it to the next level. I also upgraded to VIP level status where we can really enjoy a lot of the benefits here as well. And I really feel this is my new calling now, to really serve other fellow coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs to help them reach their next level of success. I feel very called in helping people to really truly express their own voice, value, and visibility so that they can make a huge difference in this world. So if this is something that you're interested in, please message me. I would love to host you at one of my future masterminds. Cheers.
So my name is Natalie Sarah Rennick, and I started my full-time coaching and consulting business April 2023. So I met Diana in the summer of 23. So is the first time that I met her. And the way that I came across her, it wasn't exactly love at first sight because it's not in a romantic way, but it was very much like conversation. She is one of the warmest people I've ever met in this space. So with her encouragement and just getting to know the women, I felt instantly welcomed. And yeah, it really did help me make that decision. And I gotta say, it was the best decision that I possibly could have made for myself and my career growth in that moment. Been paying off ever since. What did I learn? So many things. How to nurture prospects coming into your zone. What does it mean to have a warm lead / cold lead / hot lead? And how do you convert them at every stage of the process? Like the whole client experience from start to finish. How do you speak to your audience? Big thing that I walked away from the mastermind was really focusing on messaging that connects on the transformation that the client is going through, as well as being able to really make an impact on the company level. The biggest result that I should say walking away from the mastermind experience itself were the relationships that I made with amazing women and talented business owners. Community is huge for me. And that was a big goal of mine going into the mastermind itself. And I walked away with lifelong friendships, which I'm very, very grateful for. So Diana's superpower, hands down, is twofold. It's herself. You're getting the most authentic, genuine, loving person on the planet. There are very few people in this industry, on the online space, that genuinely care. Her ability to draw in the perfect talent to learn from, to grow with, that to me, it just married the most perfect experience for me. That's the easiest question to answer. I hands down would recommend Diana to anyone looking to just really up level. If they're lacking that support to get them there in this lonely world of entrepreneurship, and they're struggling to really grasp that clarity for themselves on how to make their dream into a reality and create a business, a viable business from that dream, hands down, Diana is your girl.
So Tiffany, I know you invest a lot in yourself and your business, and I know you're a part of other programs. What made this experience different for you? What was memorable about it?
Yeah, I can say that this is probably one of my most worthwhile investments that I've done for myself professionally over the last few years for a few reasons. The first is just like the relevancy. I know, Diana, you mentioned this earlier in the session that it was very much like collaboration over competition. And that was one of the things I really sensed in becoming a career coach. One of the pleasant surprises, I guess, was just how supportive everyone was that I came across. It wasn't that we were trying to steal each other's audiences or anything like that. It was just very supportive. And I think being a part of this experience really just took that on steroids, like in terms of being open, being transparent, not holding back on our numbers and our goals and our biggest dreams. It was just this level of transparency and relevancy because we were from the same space that kind of took my reflections to a whole different level. I think another really key differentiator was the in-person element and the immersive aspect of the event. Diana's an incredible planner, so she literally took care of every single detail. None of us had to worry about literally a thing. And the fact that it was this perfect balance of both business, brainstorm, masterminding, but also self-care. I was saying earlier, you're the queen of self-care, and something that I still try to prioritize for myself. But it was great to be able to have this almost initiated for us in that event and allowed for some of my most memorable conversations. Just some of these more informalized moments where you can really just unwind and relax and let the creative juices flow. So I think that was intentionally done. I found for me as a participant, it was really just this perfect balance of focus, business-minded talk, but also just understanding each other at a much deeper level and people that we really admire and respect, vice versa, right? I'd say the third component was the fact that it was also the environment. There was a lot of careful thought in what you chose to do for this event and other programs that I've been in, mainly virtually driven programs. It just doesn't have the same vibe, right? I mean, there's only so much we can get across through Zoom calls. And this just broke down all of those barriers, right? We were in the most beautiful location, felt extremely safe. We stayed on resort. There was more than enough to do there. And it just created a whole other level of memorability and resonance that's really stuck with me since I've come back.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. And one thing that I shared at the very beginning was that this experience, when you attend, you're not going to be in a conference room. There won't be PowerPoint presentations. It really, the experience is being in an immersive environment in a VIP lounge area or a private terrace or a quiet space with a gorgeous view, which really makes it more inspiring and empowering, which that's part of what would make this different than something just online there. Can you share a little bit about what the community is like? That's something I get a lot in terms of question is the people, the group. Can you share a little bit about before we came together to then during and then now after, what that looks like?
Yeah, that was such a huge proponent of it. Having that community both before, during, and after. So Diana really fostered that community building from the very get-go, from all of us who were signing up, some of us at different times. Not only did we have more of a WhatsApp community that really allowed us to exchange and get to know each other and our goals and what we were working through already prior to the mastermind, that helped by the time that we got to the mastermind. It wasn't diving into all of those kind of more surface level types of topics. We were able to just get right into it. And that brought this level of richness and transformation in the experience that I don't think I was expecting, but it happened really fast. And it seemed to be the case for all of the participants. And then even following the event, which was very emotional in many ways for a lot of us, we definitely had some tearful moments. Being able to continue to support each other. We've continued to do collaborations with each other, support in different ways. And it's just really amazing to have this group of powerhouse women who are each doing their own thing in their own way, but where we can really learn from each other. For instance, I did a launch back in June, and I shared a lot of the insights that I had because I knew some of my fellow participants were going to be doing theirs soon. And I'm like, hey, I just want to share. I tried a lot of different new things. And it just created that kind of platform where I can share more openly, see if I could help someone else in a certain way. And everyone's been very, very supportive and reciprocating in that type of energy. And that wouldn't have been possible without really forming that trust-based community that you did, Diana.
Yeah, one thing that I've been really amazed is how openly people have been transparently sharing with each other in their own lesson, but also the numbers. I think just this week we were sharing our own numbers of our launches, of the revenue, like what's coming in, what's working, what's not working. Could you maybe share a little bit in terms of maybe some specific, like, wins or results that you've seen, like that has really influenced the way of thinking, the way of doing things since our mastermind?
Oh yeah. I mean, one of my big takeaways from the mastermind was just being bolder for myself. I kind of came into the mastermind, which took place in April. I was sort of in a transition phase with my business where I was kind of just doing a lot of deeper reflection of what I wanted it to look like, a bit of a repackaging, up leveling some of my messaging, the way I wanted to speak to my audience and how that would implicate my program. So it really came at the perfect time because it allowed me to go deeper on a lot of that and many of the conversations. But I was able to like take that back and implement it directly in my next steps, which led to like the best launch that I've ever had, the most type of seamless onboardings of clients that I've ever had, a lot of like cold demand coming in that I had never had. So I think it helped me show up as my best in a lot of micro ways, but also macro ways that I'm seeing translate into the business results. And I'm really grateful for that because I don't think I would have had that same vibe for myself and how I'm showing up prior to that event. And I really do believe that that was like a catalyst that helped give me the trust, the validation, and also see some of my own blind spots that others were picking up as like things that I did really well or things that I should maybe consider that have been much more prominent in my reflections these days.
I remember when we were there, one of the hottest areas, the topics we talked a lot about was around sales and marketing, like how to handle sales rejections, how to create our marketing funnels, about hiring, all those things here. Like I want to maybe dive a little deeper, maybe some of the topics of what people expect. Because I know what we did here that I thought worked really well was we really co-created the agenda together. Right. It wasn't just me about my agenda, but I really took the time to have a session with everyone to co-create the agenda so that we're tailoring it to everyone's needs there.
Yeah, I agree. And what Diana's not mentioning that was a really great component of the mastermind was she also gave us a lot of her one-to-one time. And Diana's just extremely selfless. And so when she speaks with you, like she is fully vested in you. She helps you identify opportunities and brings out your best, like even in the smallest of conversations. And she did that with each and every one of us, like on this trip. I even went a couple days earlier and had some more dedicated time with Diana. It was just so enriching to hear more about her, what she was working on, but also in really helping me troubleshoot some things that I was working through. And she did that with every single participant. And then on top of it, to your point, Diana, we had the more deep dive topics that we had collaborated on, agreed. I think there were some that were like, you know what, we actually don't need that topic. Like we're okay for that, but this one might be worth going into more detail on. For me, like the sales part, the objection handling part was so helpful. Like I took so much of that back. And now, like whether it's me or my team that are on call, it's a different dynamic, like it's a different energy. And it's something that I don't think I would have had before. So just like things like that are very concrete and tangible have helped. But I love the themes that we developed. And I'm sure, Diana, with this group, you would be doing something very similar of choosing which topics would be most pertinent to have more of those deep dive sessions, and then which ones you could have more informally over dinners and lunches, because there was a bit of everything, right? We didn't have to have all as dedicated masterminds, but we ended up going into all different directions and still covering pretty much everything that we wanted to share in one way or another.
Absolutely. You almost made me cry there. Thank you. One of the beauty of an in-person mastermind, I would say, is those conversations, unexpected conversations that are not planned or structured, whether it's through meals like lunch or dinners, or through when you're at the spa, or when we went to do a wine tasting. I think we had like one of the most fun time when we did wine tasting together. So those unexpected conversations got to change our way of thinking about something there.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, just to wrap up, who is this for? Like who is this mastermind for? Like at what stage of their business? Who do you think this is for?
I think it's for someone who, has a business, not necessarily in the very early stages, but has a vision, has built a great foundation, is ready to really like unleash a different level of reflection, community, and type of direction that you want to take. It's for someone who has, big goals and doesn't want to feel alone in having to achieve those goals. It's for someone who can really benefit from an incredible community of who have experienced similar things, who will experience these things, who have different perspectives to bring, so that you can just literally condense the learnings that would otherwise take you years and just get that in like a fraction of the time. I think that's what we all do when we invest in ourselves, right? The goal is to save time so that we can get to our goals faster. Literally, in my case, Diana, it happened like a month after coming back, that it was just like this turnaround moment in my business compared to how it started. And you know how the year started, it was a real challenge. So I never would have thought that within like a 6-month time span, with the mastermind kind of being within like month 4 of that time span, that it would have been so pivotal for me. But I think those are the elements that, if that sounds like you, if this is something that you want for yourself, that you have goals and you just want to be able to get there faster, do it in a lot of fun, with a lot of community behind you, and get that wind in your sails, and do it in an immersive way where you don't have to dedicate hours every single week. It's like you get it all in, you come back loaded with inspiration and motivation and direction. That's who this is absolutely for. Like, you won't regret it. It's an amazing transformative experience. And I really mean what I said about Diana. Like, she's so vested in every participant. I'm sure a lot of you were really hand selected to be on this call today because it's not for everyone. It's really for a certain person that fits a lot of this criteria. And I have a feeling it's all of you. I hope that helps.
No, absolutely. This was so good. If you have any questions, feel free to ask before Tiffany needs to go here. But yes, Salima, please ask.
One of the things I kind of have in my mind is I want to be able to learn from people who are ahead of me, so that you're continuing to grow. And so did you feel like that, Tiffany, that you had people who were ahead of you around you, so that would pull you up and you would learn from them in terms of like, if our goal is to get to $1 million business, you're working with people who are at 500,000, 750,000, you can hear how they got there and made those big leaps.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm looking to be surrounded by. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I definitely sensed a state of very much similar levels in our business. So like, there weren't any newbies there. We were all around similar-ish income levels, some further ahead than others. But I think what's really interesting here, Salima, to your point, is the fact that people were further along in different things. And I think that's really interesting because income is one goal to have for your business. But for me, like, I got so many learnings from some of our fellow participants who were like masters in sales. And I was like, I think I've got my ways to go still in some of that facet. And even if my targets might be different or my sales might be different, like, I'm still feel like they're further along in that type of skill set. Or one of our other participants was so good at building her brand and like this voice that's just so distinct online. And for me, LinkedIn's been a big priority for me this year. So like, I felt I gained so much from her in how she's shown up and a lot of the insights that we were able to exchange, because I felt like she was kind of further along in that regard. So I think it's just perspective of how you view your particular business. And it's great to have the financial goals, but there's a lot of the other elements that will build up to that financial goal. And I think that's where the real wealth of this experience comes in, because you're being brought amongst each other that all have your own set of strengths and skill sets that are likely some further along than others in certain ways. And when you're benefiting from that, in addition to the income piece, it's where it all comes full circle.
I want to add on to this. So I do my best to curate a group where my belief is that everyone can, one, learn, but also can add value to the group. So when I look at the group, it could be, for example, someone's really good, like, for example, Tiffany, like, amazing presence on Instagram. Like, people can tap into her expertise on Instagram. Someone's great on LinkedIn. Someone's really good with their funnels. Someone who's like really good with speaking. Like for me, like I've done like Fortune 500 talks or for the UN or become a LinkedIn instructor. So we all have these expertise that we could tap into that made it even more enriching. So I'm really glad you asked this question, Salima, because I have been part of masterminds where I actually came back feeling that if I were to run my own mastermind, I also want to make sure in terms of the caliber of the people I bring together, at least we have that rich conversations that we can also elevate each other. I totally know where you're coming from because I have been part of a very expensive mastermind where I was the only one who had a 6-figure business. I totally understand where you're coming from. And I love how Tiff talked about, it's like the different areas that we can add value to each other there.
I think there's something to be said about also being around people who aren't as crazy ahead, because like as much as we're learning from, and I'm part of like another mastermind with like 8-figure business owners from like all different industries. And it's been a very different type of learning experience. It's still very enriching, but I'm like, but what can I do like right now? Like I need like the stuff that like at my stage, that's like very realistic that I can bite into. I find that's really priceless. And sometimes when you're with these types of mentors or coaches that have done this like years ago, for sure, it's really insightful and whatnot, but it's like, okay, but like, I don't have a 20-person team yet. Like, I don't have every single process and system established yet. Like, that's great. And I know that that's something I could aspire to, but it's like literally tomorrow when I go back home, like, what do I need to focus on? And I think that's what was really important for me, where I walked away with like so many actionable real time. Like I had my notebook, I have it right here next to me that I continue to refer to because I'm like, yeah, these are things that I'm actually actioning on. So it's just kind of finding that balance. But that was definitely my experience that was really, really beneficial.
Well, thank you so much, Tiffany, for being here and taking time. I really want to tell you that, and I want to tell your business group, if it wasn't because you visited me last year in November, this mastermind would not have happened. I mean, I had it in my dreams of I want to do this, but I thought it for years and years. But because you came to visit me at the spa while we were relaxing, I was sharing with you my crazy idea and dream. You're like, sign me up. And because of that one thing that you said to me that I'm in, that you empowered me to create something amazing and beautiful within a month there. So I want to thank you for that, for showing up in my life last year that made this into a reality there. So that's
You're
really
so
the power
welcome.
of having a group of like-minded women to encourage each other to dream bigger as well.
Yeah, you're so welcome, Diane. Honestly, I see the passion in you, and like it's coming from such a good place. All of us as the initial participants were like, we want to do it again next year. So I mean, if that helps anyone, it's like the type of thing that you start to crave, that you just want more of. Like you will not regret this experience. It's just amazing. And it starts here, and like the connections that you're going to be able to continue to build, and having Diane in your corner, who's just like the best cheerleader and master event planner. I mean, I'm just like blown away by how she can put something as complex together that seems so seamless. Like there wasn't even any type of stress in it at all. It blows my mind, and it's a real talent. So I hope you guys choose to move forward. I'm happy to have had a chance to come share my experience. If any of you have like direct questions for me, feel free to message me. But thanks for having me, Diana.
Amazing. Thank you so much.